Should be dual. Oh yeah, oh my god. This is the Eunorau Fat All-Wheel Drive 2.0 electric bike, and as the name implies, it does have dual motors, and there is a single battery on this e-bike, but there is an option for a second battery. You can see the current price link below this video in the description box, but do not buy the Eunorau Fat All-Wheel Drive 2.0 just yet. We gotta crack this thing open, take a closer look at it, then take it out for a full review, and see what this e-bike is made of. And here's a look at the front wheel. It's a 26er with Kenda Juggernaut tires, knobby tread, 4 inches wide, and of course a 500 watt hub motor on the front wheel. Branded Eunorau. Brake rotor on front is a 180 millimeter rotor. We'll plug that up in just a minute. And here's what it looks like when you get out of the box. This one is the camouflage color, although there is another color linked below this video in the description box. Also, this is the step over frame, but they also have a step through frame of the same bike. This color is called maple and is actually like a really detailed image of a tree. And as I mentioned, there is an option for a dual battery on this bike. If you get the second battery, it can go right here. And this is where you would hook up the second battery. But today we'll be looking at the single battery one. Helps keep the weight down. Oh no. Well, we're getting a little durability test built into this bike right now. The battery in the frame is a 48 volt 15 amp hour. Company website has it listed as LG cells. Popping that battery off there will reduce the weight of the bike by 7 pounds 12 ounces. And I think I saw an option for various chargers on the website. The one they give us is a 2 amp charger. So 15 amp hours divided by a 2 amp charge rate would take about 7.5 hours to charge from completely empty to completely full. Here's the other stuff that's included in that box. Here's the seat they give us. Quick release for easy adjustments. Now we do have front suspension on this bike, but no rear suspension, so. Oh dude, it's so bouncy though. In case you want some cushion back here, you could swap out the suspension seat post. The one they give you is a 31.6 millimeter diameter. Front fork on this bike is an RST guide. Of course, you get adjustments up here on the right stanchion. This appears to have either a lock or unlock adjustment, no micro adjustments. It appears the handlebars will have an adjustable angle. Check it out, loosen that bolt and you can adjust the angle from 30 to -30. Man, with this camo paint and these crosshairs, I feel like I'm about to go hunting. Fire! Did I get him? Got a set of Eunorau branded hydraulic brake levers, Shimano 7-speed shifter, round rubber grips, a little bit of rise on the bars, a switch over here, and a thumb throttle on the left. Here's a peek at the display. Chain ring has a double wall guard to help keep that chain on there. It is a 42 tooth, so it looks like this bike is going to be geared more for 20 miles an hour and under. Well, depending on what gears we have on the back. What do we have back here? Looks like some sort of light built in here. And the typical set of 7 gears on the Shimano cassette. It's got a tourney derailleur. There are eyelets to mount a rear rack. More eyelets here and here, so you could put a fender on this bike. And up front, we do get these eyelets so you can mount a rack on the front. The hub motor on the rear is also a 48 volt 500 watt nominal hub motor, and the controller that is likely housed down there in that bottom bracket is listed as a 48 volt 20 amp controller. And installing the front wheel on a dual motor e-bike is always a task. Get in your home. Front suspension locks out. When you unlock it, you get 95 millimeters of travel. Got that motor plugged in. So let's get that battery in there. And let's fire up the display. Eunorau. So technically is a color display. We get our battery percentage in the top right. 5 levels of pedal assist, calories burned, ride time. Oh, sweet. So we get a power meter, how many watts we're outputting. Trip distance, total distance, max speed, average speed, and back to calories. Typically holding the plus sign will turn on the headlight, and that is exactly what happened. Light is not the brightest one I've ever seen. It'll blind the camera if you shine it right at it though. And this little light around back is a rear light. If I grab the brake lever, it does light up brighter, so it's also a brake light. Should be noted that that light is on the right side. There is no light on the left side. And to give you an idea of the size of this bike, I am 6'5", inseam 34. They do make a step-through version of this bike if you don't like the high step. This is fine for me, but here's what I look like on this bike with inseam 34. What my pedal stroke would look like with seat on maximum height. Handlebars are also raised to the 30° plus angle. Seat also drops down all the way to, well, pretty low. So here's what this bike looks like with the seat on minimum and the handlebars raised up to maximum. Let's throw this thing on maximum and try this out. I actually have no idea what I'm doing here. Whoa! Oh no, shoot. Gosh darn it, there's another skid mark. So when you set it to 2, it'll operate just the rear motor. And when you set it to 1, actually let's put that back on 2. Please don't burn out, Marks. Oh no! At least it's a burnout on a burnout. And when you set it to 1, that gyro effect, dude. And when you flip the switch to the middle, I forgot to weigh this bike. Should be dual. Oh yeah. Oh my god, dude. That was not smart. How much does this thing weigh? Without holding the bike, I weigh 192.4. And picking up the bike while stepping on the scale, it clocks in at 273.0, 80.6 pounds for the whole bike with the battery on it. And they are hydraulic brakes. Here's a closer look at them. And same exact setup around back, 180mm rotor, hydraulic brake. And one thing I almost actually missed, there is this bolt back here. Not entirely sure what this is for. Maybe for like a trailer or passenger pegs or something. And there's one on the right as well, to attach something. All right, dudes, let's take out the Eunorau Fat All-Wheel Drive 2.0. Of course, we're gonna fire up the Strava here so we can check our official range on the single battery version of this e-bike. Of course, you gotta add that second battery, get a little more range, and we'll see if we can increase the top speed on this thing beyond 20 today. We'll check the top speed, all the good stuff, and a dual motor e-bike on a sunny day here in California. Should be for a good time. No. And here's what those lights are looking like here in the elevator. And here's what that headlight looks like in a completely dark area. So let's go ahead and see how this thing does on the 20% grade on a variety of modes. We'll try it on front motor only to start. So let's crank this up to Palisades 5. Ready, go. Wait, is that front motor or rear motor? It's single motor. And single motor will get us up to about here. And let's flip it on over to the other motor. So not dual motor yet, full throttle. I think this is front motor now. And front motor will get us up to, actually, you know what, this might be rear motor. Yeah, that's rear motor. So rear motor pulls a little bit better, probably actually just puts down the power a little better. They are both 500 watt motors, but obviously if you're gonna look for hill climbing performance, you'll put it on dual motor like we have it now, so full throttle. Oh yeah, there, quite a bit more pep there. So 10 miles an hour, 11 miles an hour, right up to California, or not the California, the 20% grade on throttle only, no pedaling, man. So once you put this thing on dual motor, oh yeah, got a little bit of pep in this thing. Now when the headlights are on, the display is dimmed, and it is very dim. Let's go ahead and turn that headlight off. Oh yeah, that brightens things up so I can see without my sunglasses. And before we get crazy, let's go ahead and throw this thing on down to pedal assist 0, pedal this thing a little bit. So it's got a little bit of weight to it. Let's try pedal assist 1. So it is a cadence sensor on dual motor. Kicks in, gives you pretty good power, and I'm already on gear number 7 going 13 miles an hour on the dual motor. Pedal assist 1 actually is backing off that power, bringing us back down to about, it'll hold you right around 10 miles an hour on pedal assist 1 dual motor. Let's flip it on to, we got to figure out these modes. So 2 here, mode 2, that's rear motor. So 2 is rear. So let's try this from a stop. Oh, I should not be on gear number 7, but cadence sensor kicks in pretty quickly and gives us gentle power. There is a little power meter on there. It kind of shows the bars kind of kicking on about 3, 4, 5 bars, brings us up to 10 miles an hour. So it doesn't matter if you have on dual motor or single motor, you'll go 10 miles an hour. It just, you know, gives you twice as much power when you have on dual motor. So let's put it on front motor now and start pedaling from a stop here, and cadence sensor kicks on. 3 bars of power, 4, 5 bars of power. And same thing, 10 miles an hour on pedal assist 1. Of course, we got to break out the polarized sunglasses. Can you see that display through them? I haven't seen this display yet. Oh yeah, you can see it just fine through the polarized glasses, so that's always nice to see. Let's pump it on to pedal assist 2. Wait, is this a torque sensor or a cadence sensor? I actually forget if this is a torque sensor or cadence sensor. Let's just throw it on pedal assist 5 and ghost pedal it. Oh yeah, I'm ghost pedaling, so pedal assist 5. Yeah, you don't have to actually put any power. It is a cadence sensor. It was kind of feeling like a torque sensor there for a moment. So the cadence, oh gosh, I have my shoelace caught in the chain. How did that happen? tuck those on the outside of my shoe there. Just try pedal assist 3 front motor and start off here pedaling, and it actually kicks on the power fairly gently when you're on single motor, front motor only, and yeah, you know, we're accelerating, nothing crazy. And I can definitely tell that this bike is geared more for like torque, slower speed pedaling, as in 20 miles an hour and under. It's got that smaller chain ring on the front, you know, for hill climbing, riding in the sand and stuff. So we'll get out on the beach here in a little bit, do a lot of sand riding today. So we are on front motor. Let's switch it on over to rear motor while we're pedaling here and bump it on up to number 4 mode. What do you know, a little more power. For a 26 by 4 inch fat tire e-bike, I am kind of noticing this does kind of feel like more like on the smaller side of massive fat tire e-bikes, if that makes any sense. Even with the handlebars like raised all the way up and the seat in the highest position, you know, compared to like other bikes that I've been riding recently, like the E-Cells and the Wired Freedom, this one is kind of a little bit smaller. Let's see how the throttle works. We have it on pedal assist 2 rear motor. Let's see if there's a cutoff on the speed for this. Takes us up to, no, there's no cutoff. So you get full power on the throttle regardless of which pedal assist mode you're on. And top speed is 20. We'll have to see if we can lift that here in a little bit. And I'm just gonna leave it on rear motor for now. Going off-road here a little bit. It does have front suspension. There are no micro adjustments on that front suspension. So it is a little bit on the soft end, and there is no rear suspension either. But now let's flip it on to dual motor and pedal assist 5. Get out here on the big boy road a little bit. And we are topping out at 20 miles an hour on throttle. And even if we pedal, you can't go beyond 20. It removes all your power. Oh gosh, there's a bump right there. So I've definitely rode e-bikes that are faster than this, but as you can see, this thing gets up to speed pretty quickly. And let's get a little 0 to 20 acceleration run on this bike. Dual motor, pedal assist 5. I weigh 200 pounds. See if we get this power planted down in the front wheel. Ready, go. Yeah, hooked up pretty good there. 13, 16, 18, 20. So pretty rapido on the acceleration. This bike definitely feels very, very torquey, as does most dual motor electric bikes. Now, one of the trade-offs of that dual motor is you can feel it in the handling. You can just really kind of feel the rotational mass on that front wheel. Definitely just has a very different handling characteristic compared to a single motor rear hub drive motor e-bike. And I almost forgot, we do have that power meter on there, so we'll try to keep an eye on that, see what kind of power we're putting out. Let's see what it says here. Ready, go. Oh yeah, 1900 watts. Yeah, I mean, it feels like 1900 watts too. So these motors are 500 watts nominal, but they can definitely peak out more than that. And it says it's a 20 amp controller. I wonder if it actually has dual 20 amp controllers? No, that can't be true. It doesn't feel that powerful. This definitely feels like more than a 20 amp controller though. And I do not believe that this bike came with a manual showing how to unlock the top speed. Oh shoot, there. We can just unlock it right there. You don't even need a manual for this, man. Oh yeah, you can increase that beyond very easily there. So we can increase it. It says 62 kilometers an hour. I mean, that'll probably be good enough. Pedal assist 5 will burn out there. 1900 watts. Yeah, 1900 watts, pulling us up to 25 on the onboard there, 27, 28. GPS says 27 miles an hour, 28 miles an hour, and now the power is showing 1000 watts, right around just over 1000 watts, and showing 29 miles an hour. Huh, that's weird. The screen froze. I was looking down at my power and it was showing nothing, and well, guess we're just stuck in pedal assist 5, which I have absolutely no problem with. Well, I don't really see any reason to delay the sand test. Let's get on out here and give it a try. So obviously 26 inch tall, 4 inch wide fat tires absolutely dominate. I am definitely feeling the lack of suspension on the back of this bike, but we are crushing, going 16 miles an hour into a headwind across the soft sand. And these tires have all the traction with the knobbies, 26 inches tall, 4 inches wide, and rolling up on a little hill over here. Little hill, I mean, this is a hill in soft sand, so it takes quite a bit of power to be able to do something like this. And This will do it, man. I am really just bouncing on this seat quite a lot though. So the unfortunate thing about this display being frozen is I have no idea where we are on the battery life. Just the one day I did not bring my key with me. No suspension on the rear, but we do have the fat tires. And I do not know what the IPX rating on this e-bike is, so probably shouldn't get too close to the ocean here. If I was gonna be doing this kind of riding often, I'd probably throw a suspension seat post on this bike because it is pretty bouncy. Let's take a turn off here from basically a really slow crawl, climb up this hill in the sand, demonstrating the power of this bike. Really wish the power meter was showing up right there. Also, I've got to say, I don't love this thumb throttle. I'm kind of just getting spoiled, I think. But you got to kind of reach for it. My thumb is getting a little fatigued, but yeah, we can climb this hill, no problem. And for the harsh riding portion here, yeah, put a suspension seat post on this thing if you're doing off-roading. I'm gonna unplug this display and then plug it back in and pray for the best, man. Please, please, please. Boom, there we go, baby. So it says we are at 74% after a decent amount of off-roading there in the sand. We really don't even need to be on the bike path, man. Let's get out of here back on the sand. It just looks like more fun. And I do like to use these bikes, you know, showcase what they're good at. And this thing is just really good at doing this. I'm gonna try and get a little pedaling in out here. So if you're gonna wanna be doing stuff like this, definitely get dual batteries. We're probably gonna end up running this thing darn close to zero by the end of today's ride. Pushing 14 miles an hour out here on gear number 7, pedal assist 5, dual motor. Just hammering, dude. So this will probably end up being about another half mile to 1 mile spurt just running out here. And even though I am turning my legs, I'm really not helping this thing at all. I could just completely stop pedaling and you can see it's throttling at about 15.5 right now. And what the heck, let's keep torturing this battery. Pop off here over my muscle beach a little bit too. Muscling through Muscle Beach. I don't know what that is rattling around back there. I think actually it's the controller bouncing around down there in the bottom bracket area. And just out of curiosity, let's see what kind of speeds we can hit going up the California Incline. I'm just gonna leave it on rear motor for now, throttling up this little loop-de-loop section. I don't even think it needs dual motor. Yeah, just on single motor. Yeah, rear motor, pulling us up 7 miles an hour. Let's flip it on over to dual. While I was holding the throttle down, not sure if that's good for the controller or not, but definitely a little pick up in power. Oh man, these dual motor bikes. 15, 16, 18, 21, 22 miles an hour, 23.8, 24.1 miles an hour. Battery is showing 35% under load, doing 24.3 miles an hour. Going up the California Incline. Was on pedal assist 2, but doesn't matter which mode you're on. Whoa, buddy. Well, let's try the brakes. What do you say? They are hydraulic, which is great. 180 millimeter rotors. Now this bike does have a little bit more weight than typical with the dual motors. And that a little bit more rotational mass as well, since it does have that hub driver integrated into the front wheel. But yeah, brakes are pretty much all you really need, man. So let's go ahead and test these brakes for about 20 miles an hour and give them a full pull here. Oh yeah, nice hydraulic brakes, man. 2 thumbs up. So it is saying 35% on the battery. Let's just get out here and see what this thing is really made of, man. Oh, dude, it's so bouncy though. It's like a whoop section going over these tire tracks that the live cars do out here. So it is actually starting to reduce the power a bit here. It's saying 950 watts. I think the controller might be heating up just a little bit, or maybe because the battery's down to 25%. Riding down here, it'll be a little bit easier on the battery. Now, one thing about this e-bike, it did not ship with any fenders, so it does kind of kick up sand a little bit. You probably could get those as an option. Oh yeah, we're starting to, I felt the power cut a little bit there. I think the battery's just starting to get too low. It's trying to make me save some battery. Probably not a bad idea. So we are sitting at 13% on the battery and we still have about 10 miles to go. We'll see if we can make it home today. And along the way, I'll share my final thoughts on the Eunorau Fat all-wheel drive 2.0. So I think it is cool that they offer a dual battery version of this bike. I mean, if you're gonna be running this high power on dual motors and really pushing it, it's nice to have the option to run dual batteries. Obviously, it's gonna add weight and price. So if you're just going for like a shorter ride and you don't really care about exceptionally long range, whoa buddy, whoa buddy. Just running a single battery will probably be what you need, honestly, because it keeps the weight down and the price down. Which, speaking of price, this bike is listed a penny shy of $1,800 in the link below this video in the description box. So if you were going to grab one of these and you wanted to also help support my reviews, if you did click on the link below the video in the description box and bought through that link, it would help support my reviews and I would greatly appreciate your support. All around, pretty solid bike for the price of $1,800. I don't think it's a bad deal. Let's head on home, check final range. Genuinely don't know if I'm gonna make it home, man. 4%, oh no. It says 0%. It's still giving power, but it says 0%. All right, dude, just rolling back into the neighborhood here, showing 0% on the battery. We did do 17.67 miles. Hour 37 minutes ride time, average speed 10.84 mphs. Obviously, I did push this battery significantly harder than I typically do, riding it out there on the sand, whipping it full throttle. Really didn't pedal this bike hardly at all today. And actually, it is just completely removing power right now for the first time. So this battery is effectively dead at 17.75 miles. And this electric bicycle suddenly becomes an entire different experience once the battery is completely dead. Now, obviously, you could do significantly better range than that if you don't hoon it around the way I did out on the sand, where it's particularly hard on the motors and batteries. So the Eunorau Fat all-wheel drive 2.0, this was an awesome bike to ride. If you do want to grab one, click on that link down below the video in the description box. Buy through that link down there. It would help support my reviews here on Tail Happy TV. However, if this is not the kind of electric bicycle you're looking for, watch this video next. Catch you over there.